Two men plead guilty in an East End home invasion and jewelry heist. Pumped up prices.
$20 is $20, you know? It's a decent amount.
Some drivers traveling the extra mile to save a few bucks. And the ambitious vision for Windsor's future.
This project is literally mere weeks away from moving forward.
Just one of the hot topics at the State of the City address.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We begin tonight in Superior Court, where two men have pleaded guilty for their role in a home invasion and robbery of a senior couple in the city's East End in March of 2024. In an agreed statement of facts presented to the court on Wednesday, Justice Bruce Thomas heard Raymond Hunter responded to a cable service call at a house in the 1400 block of Aspen Shore Avenue on February 29th of 2024, where he observed 15 or more wristwatches in a watch box in a main floor bedroom. He then contacted Jason Mikulski, who in turn contacted another party who devised a plan to commit a robbery. Around 9:30 on March 18th, Downey and another person forced their way into the home, wearing masks and brandishing what was believed to be a firearm. One of the two also identified the pair as police officers. The homeowner, husband and wife, attempted to fight back. One was assaulted and sustained injuries to his head and elbow. The accused fled with the watches. The estimated value, according to the homeowner, is around $40,000. During the theft, one of the attackers dropped their phone, which was later retrieved by police for evidence. The K-9 unit searched the area and found gloves, a balaclava, two sunglasses, and a watch 200 meters from the home. More items were found at two other nearby locations. On Wednesday, Downey pleaded guilty to break and enter and to commit an indictable offense. Hunter pleaded guilty to robbery as a party. And Mikulski's defense lawyer tells CTV News he expects his client's charges to be withdrawn at a later date. The sentencing hearing is scheduled for April 17th. A veteran Windsor police officer is off the job tonight, facing a criminal breach of trust charge from the OPP. Constable Kenneth Campo, a nearly 30-year veteran of the service, has been arrested by provincial police. The investigation dates back more than 2 years to August of 2023, when Windsor police brought in the OPP to look into an alleged incident of misconduct. Campo is now facing a charge of breach of trust, though investigators have not released details about the allegations. He has been suspended from duty and was released from custody following his arrest. Campo is scheduled to appear in court on June 30th as this investigation continues. Now, in a statement, Windsor Police Chief Jason Crowley saying, quote, "I understand this incident will affect public trust, and I take that seriously. Trust is built through our actions every day, and we're committed to earning it by being open, being accountable, and taking the right actions." In other news, Canada's Prime Minister called it a good day after a new 2-week ceasefire was announced between the United States, Iran, and Israel. But the deal already looks fragile. Here's CTV's Joy Malbon with the latest.
On the streets of Tehran, they chant death to America as the U.S. Secretary of War declared victory over Iran.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it.
This 2-week truce looking shaky at best. Iran is still holding up hundreds of oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, effectively controlling global oil production in the Gulf.
The Iranian response is we're going to control it and put a toll on everybody. And there's no ceasefire. Literally within the past hour, Saudi Arabia has reported that its pipeline, which goes from the Gulf to the Red Sea, has been hit by a drone.
Blocking the strait, says Iran, is retaliation for Israel's continued attacks on Lebanon. Israel insists the ceasefire doesn't include their war against Iranian-backed Hezbollah. The fresh violence threatening to scuttle Washington's fragile truce.
And I will reiterate the president's expectation and demand that the Strait of Hormuz is reopened immediately, quickly, and safely.
President Donald Trump, who threatened to annihilate Iran just yesterday and back down, called this a big day for world peace, posting, "The U.S. will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through regime change. There will be no enrichment of uranium."
So right now it's buried and we're watching it. We know exactly what they have. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it. We'll take it out.
Leaving many politicians wondering what this war was all about.
We have lost 13 American service members, hundreds of American service members wounded, thousands of people, innocent civilians throughout the region killed, prices going up, the American taxpayers paying $2 billion a day. And all for nothing.
The White House says Vice President J.D. Vance will lead in-person peace talks with Iran. The regime prefers him because of his past skepticism about Middle East wars. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
With gas prices at record highs, some Windsor-Essex drivers are traveling extra miles to save, heading to a Leamington station charging 30 cents a liter less. CTV's Chris Campbell joining us now. Now, Chris, lineups at the Caldwell gas station are nothing new.
That's right, Stefanie, but those lineups are getting longer. The gas station is seeing a surge in customers. However, the question for many is whether the savings are really worth the drive.
Gas prices may be high across Windsor, Essex, but here at Caldwell Gas, drivers are hoping to pay a little less.
Alrighty, here we go.
At around $1.59 a litre, it's about 30 cents cheaper than in Windsor, and that's drawing a crowd.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
The station has always been cheaper, but now General Manager Eva Newstater says demand is surging.
So we've been seeing like double some days. It's been really hectic, especially over the holidays, the weekends. Everybody's coming from all over the place just to come and save.
That includes drivers from Windsor and elsewhere.
A lot of people coming from Windsor. They're calling to check prices before they head out.
The trade-off? Time. Lineups can stretch up to 30 minutes, but many say it's still worth it.
It's pretty crazy, so coming here and waiting in line it's cheaper and it's better.
That's first to drive, yeah. I only got a 4-cylinder, but for big trucks, it's worth it.
People say it's not worth the drive, but my gas gauge doesn't move. To come out here, have lunch, go back, it doesn't cost anything extra. I have people say they don't think it's worth it, but a little bit of money in my pocket's better than the government's, right?
Especially for those filling up often.
If I fill up full every tank, I'm saving like $20. $20 is $20, you know? It's a decent amount.
It's very bad, yeah, now.
You know, we live in Tecumseh, and driving out here, we got to bring our dog Harley out for vets, and on the way out here, got to take advantage of the prices.
Others are simply adjusting how much they drive.
We don't go too far.
I'm not driving as much, put it that way. I live right in town, Essex, so I get out and walk and do my stuff that way. So you got to save a few bucks.
And for some, every dollar counts.
You know what? I just want to make sure I'm prepared because I'm not working as much as I would like, and I want to keep up on things.
We did the math. Now, it depends on your vehicle and the price, which is ever changing. But assuming an average fuel efficiency of 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers, today there is a difference of about 25 cents per liter, $1.84 on average in Windsor and $1.59 at Caldwell, which would make filling up a 50-liter tank $12.50 cheaper at Caldwell. However, the drive there and back costs about $15.34. While the drive may not make sense for everyone, many say as long as prices stay high, they'll keep coming back. Stefanie?
Okay, Chris Campbell, thank you. So here's our question of the day. Would you drive out of your way for cheaper gas? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you go out of your way to support local businesses. Out of almost 800 responses, the answers were evenly split, 50-50. With the ceasefire now theoretically in place, will the price of gas come down, and when? CTV's Abigail Beeman tackles that question for us.
With high demand from people who need their help, higher gas prices have made an already tough time even trickier at the Ottawa Food Bank.
When we fill a truck, typically it would cost around $300 to gas up a truck. But now, in the past week alone, we've seen it go to $480, and that didn't even fill a tank.
They call it a balancing act as they try to prioritize nutritious items like fresh fruits and vegetables.
And we know fuel prices come down slower than they go up. And that's really what the short-term impact was.
Oil price watchers say the good news is pump prices should drop as much as 14 cents by Friday.
Depending on where you are in the country, this is going to bring gasoline back to around $1.60 to $1.80.
The Prime Minister says Canada and allies are working towards the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz,
which is important for reestablishing stability and lowering prices in commodities. Of course, price at the pump, even here in Canada.
In the Middle East, a lot of the production was shut down because of the conflict, and you can't just flip a switch and turn it back on.
Getting longer-term pump relief is more complicated, with time needed to rebuild pressure for extraction and damage to Gulf infrastructure, the extent of which is not quite clear.
It could take months, in some cases years, to actually fix some of those assets. That could be partly mitigated by new supply coming from Venezuela.
As for when we could see pre-war prices at the pumps, answers from experts we've spoken with range from not anytime soon to unlikely before 2027. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Let's take a break now. A warm-up is on the way. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining us now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building tonight. Gary, good evening.
Good evening, Stefanie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bright and sunny for the most part today. A cold start, frosty, in fact, this morning across southwestern Ontario, but warming up to a seasonal high, what we would expect, somewhere between 10 and 12 degrees Celsius across extreme southwestern Ontario. This massive system of low pressure, though, that's in our airspace is putting down significant snow in northwest, northern central Ontario through parts of the upper Great Lakes. The cold front associated with this system of low pressure will usher in some showers, maybe even some thunderstorm activity, but ahead of it is a warm air surge. Windy conditions now, windy tonight, tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we reach 20 degrees. I'll break down the complete story just ahead. For now, I'll send it back inside to you.
The Ford government is looking at rolling back some green initiatives when it comes to new developments. The proposed legislation means developers would no longer be required to add more tree canopy, electric vehicle chargers, bird-friendly window coatings, or other sustainable design standards beyond what's required for health and safety. The government says changing the municipal standards will lower cost and get projects built faster. Meantime, the hospital in Leamington is projecting a nearly $2 million deficit.
So like all hospitals in Ontario, there is some financial constraints definitely within the system.
New interim CEO and President Caitlin Dryden says there's reason for optimism in the hospital's financial outlook. Erie Shores was initially forecasting a $5 million deficit. Smaller financial shortfall, Dryden says, comes on the back of growing efficiencies and added provincial funding. Moving forward, she says the focus will be on reducing costs within the hospital system.
So at this point, we are in a good spot. It's really continuing to work on building that momentum and seeing how can we continue to find any additional efficiencies without impacting care across the organization.
Despite affordability pressures and cross-border uncertainty, Windsor's long-term growth was the focus of Mayor Drew Dilkin's annual State of the City speech earlier today. CTV's Sanjay Mara joins me now to break down exactly what was said, and a lot was said.
Yeah, a lot said indeed. And for anyone watching who is an avid watcher of CTV News Windsor, many of the topics the mayor touched on today have been extensively reported. The 0% budget, the upcoming opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge, investment in the Sandwich Southlands, and new jobs coming. But today's State of the City speech also offered a few fresh headlines. The idea is in its early stages, but the city is exploring the potential of using Windsor Arena to support the work of the Homelessness and Housing Help Hub.
We think that there are some models in place in other communities that would be interesting to replicate here, that would give a future pathway to get some folks off the street and a pathway to treatment, but a pathway to housing as well.
The H4 currently operates out of the former Waterworld building next door, but it's a temporary site. In 2024, the city paused plans to acquire land near Wellington Avenue for a permanent H4 facility due to rising costs. Since then, no updates have been provided on a new location.
The repurpose of Windsor Arena would actually help relieve some of the pressure on H4. It would relieve some of the pressure that business owners see when they call up and they say, what am I supposed to do when someone's sleeping in front of my door when I come to unlock it and open for business at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's who we're trying to help here.
Jobs, a major theme in Dilkin's speech. Officials saying the city has 15 high-potential leads on businesses looking to set up shop in Windsor. Total investment valued at around $1.6 billion, bringing in an additional 1,600 jobs.
A global company, as they're considering the biggest risk of their economic life to go global, to expand into Canada, they see Windsor Essex because, as was alluded to, we're not changing our geography. We're always going to be neighbors to the United States, so we still always will have that geographic access.
Officials say more companies are looking here due to the instability caused by Donald Trump. Also today, an update on the Fancy Family Hospital project. Pending provincial approvals, we may just be around the corner from a tender for construction being issued.
This project is literally mere weeks away from moving forward. It will be one of the most expensive hospital projects in the province, and in the Ontario budget released last week, it is the #1 project on the list. It is moving forward.
Also today, Dilkin's floating a new vision for the city's central library, suggesting it could eventually move into a purpose-built community hub around City Hall Square. But he added that idea is still in its early stages and would take years to fully develop.
Yeah,
Stefanie.
There's a lot of people, a lot of items that our viewers are paying attention to. Me personally, the Fancy Family Hospital, I can't wait to see the shovels hit the ground.
Yeah, anticipation continuing to build as we get to, right now, just shovels going into the ground.
Exactly. Sanjay Amaro, thank you for this.
Thank you.
And it's been 2.5 years since the original Charles Brooks Memorial Peace Fountain was removed from the waterfront, and its replacement is still on hold. The city had hoped to unveil the new fountain on September 21st, the International Day of Peace, but the project has fallen behind schedule. The original fountain was taken out in September of 2023 due to age-related maintenance issues. Now, in November of 2024, City Council approved a $10.5 million plan to replace it with a new floating fountain similar in design to the original. Officials say the project is still in the design phase, with plans to include LED lighting and energy-efficient pumps. Now, the city expects to send the project out for tender later this spring. Preliminary site work could begin this summer, while the fountain itself is constructed off-site. The updated timeline now targets a launch in the fall of 2027. The chair of the organizing team behind Windsor's Art in the Park calls the decision to drop Chick-fil-A as a sponsor of the marquee event a no-win situation, but the right one. The Rotary Club of Windsor 1918's Alan Kidd says discontent grew quickly online ahead of the Easter weekend over the company's past donations to anti-LGBT groups. He says the sponsorship was worth about $5,000 and thousands of free meals for volunteers. Kidd calls the local operator a model citizen and says there were no hard feelings over the move.
He's inherited the sins of the founder, you know, it's vicious and ugly, and we don't have the time or resources to litigate it, you know, in public. It's a no-win. We're being attacked by both sides too, and of course, you know, we had to make a decision.
CTV News has reached out to Chick-fil-A for comment yesterday and again today, but have not heard back as of news time. Another Conservative jumps ship still ahead on Windsor's news leader, the shocking move and its impact on the Liberals. Later, the province is making a move that could change protections for roughly 29,000 workers in private care facilities. The Liberals are one step closer to a majority government, with another Conservative crossing over. This time, longtime Ontario MP Marilyn Gladu. She becomes the fourth Conservative and the fifth MP to embrace Mark Carney. CTV's Graham Richardson breaks down this significant shift.
Because of Marilyn Gladu, a Conservative MP.
Here's Marilyn Gladu as a Conservative back in 2023.
Our leader has been supportive of this bill all the way along. I want to thank him for that.
It is a great pleasure.
Cut to today.
I'm very happy to be the newest member of our new Liberal government.
A partisan defection that enrages Conservatives as the Prime Minister casts it as a country coming together to his side.
This all comes at a time when the country as a whole is uniting to move forward, and it's important that over there we unite to move forward as well.
Pierre Poilievre tweeted, Gladu said that floor crossers should face voters in a by-election. I could not agree more. As recently as January, she told her local paper, we elected you under this banner, and if you don't want to be under that banner, then we deserve a chance to have a redo of the election. Sarnia is a border town that's known for oil refineries and some manufacturing connected to the auto sector. Some constituents here are not happy.
We thought absolutely no way would she cross. So now I'm wondering, why did she cross? What did Carney give her? And explain it to your constituents.
Most Conservatives felt that way today, that Gladu would be the last to make a move like this.
Look at her social media feed. Up until just hours ago, she was trashing and attacking the Liberal government of which she's now proudly a part. This is very cynical and it's very odd.
But the red clothing at the photo op and broad smiles right inside the Prime Minister's office, another body blow to Tories. So is this over? Don't bet on it. The party is about to start for Liberals. Their convention in Montreal begins tomorrow. So far, there have been no floor crossers from the province of Quebec, despite rumors swirling around this place for months. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
With gas prices still high, is now the time to switch to an electric vehicle? They are still an expensive option. CTV's Heather Wright is at an EV Expo in Toronto.
Sam Aldar says the cost of filling up his truck is mind-blowing.
I've been driving in the city for as long as I can remember, and gas prices have never been this high before.
With gas prices across the country at or near record highs, Eldar is among the growing number of people contemplating going electric.
I do think about it a lot.
The EV and Charging Expo in Toronto is all about electrification, from the vehicles themselves to the infrastructure needed to support the shift toward EVs.
We've got really huge and high gas prices right now. And so the cost of electricity, the cost of running an EV is minuscule by comparison.
Nino DeCara is with Electric Autonomy Canada, which organized this trade show. He says while EV sales in Canada fell last year as a number of rebates expired, they rose again in the last quarter of 2025. He predicts the high cost of gas, along with new federal rebates, will nudge new buyers into the EV market, where costs to charge are less volatile.
You don't have these peaks and troughs in your pocket.
According to a study by rates.ca, roughly 30% of Canadians say they are interested in EVs, but the higher purchase cost and charging anxiety remain key barriers to adoption.
So I think part of the reason why adoption rates tend to be higher in Europe is because they have access to affordable electric vehicles.
And while many countries have seen EV sales soar, Canada has not kept pace with its peers. Slow sales and the trade war have led some automakers to pause or scrap EV production in Canada.
The demand that automakers were expecting didn't manifest itself. And so you have seen a lot of automakers make corrections to their manufacturing programs.
Still, industry insiders expect EV sales to pick up. Today, Ottawa announced nearly $11 million for more charging stations across the country, a move aimed at easing at least one of the barriers to EV adoption. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Nature Fresh Farms is supporting wetland restoration at Hillman Marsh Conservation Area. As part of Earth Month activities, the company says it will plant 300 more square meters of native species. The project aims to strengthen the marsh's shoreline, improve habitat, and enhance resilience against storms and climate change. North American and global markets rebounded today after Iran, the United States, and Israel agreed to a 2-week ceasefire. In Toronto, the TSX gained 383 points. In New York, the Dow soared by 1,325. The Nasdaq added 617. The Canadian dollar is up almost 1/10 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $92 an ounce, and oil fell more than $18 a barrel. Looking for a brain boost coming up, which over-the-counter vitamin could help lower your risk of developing dementia and when you should take it.
It's the return of our $15,000 backyard refresh powered by Plantscape Windsor. Head to CTV News. CTVWindsor.ca rather, and upload your photo of your backyard. We're choosing one deserving viewer to win $15,000 custom landscaping or maintenance package with Plantscape Windsor. Get on it.
Bright and beautiful out there. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Got into some chilly temperatures this morning with frost on the ground. Might have seen it on your windshield. Might have had to do some scraping of that frost. We knew it was coming since last night. And today, bright and sunny through much of the morning, midday, afternoon, and some sunshine for this evening as we head towards dusk. Temperatures have been seasonal for daytime highs across southwestern Ontario. The lows have been below seasonal, reached -6 this morning. It felt like about -8 to -11. But that ridge of high pressure has helped to clear things out. The cold front introduced a cooler air mass. It has stayed with us through the morning. The air quality is in the low range, which is good. The winds, though, are going to pick up tonight into tomorrow. It will be a windy night and early morning. Could see gusts between right now and 6 a.m. reaching 70 to 80 k. Temperatures range between 7 degrees in Chatham-Kent, that's 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and 11 degrees at the airport, 52 in Windsor. At right now, actually, it's interesting to see how temperatures fluctuate in the last couple of hours. Thunder Bay's now up to 0, but cold enough to see some snow in northwestern Ontario. We are looking at a massive spin of low pressure producing 10 to 20 centimeters in parts of northern Ontario from Thunder Bay through Sault Ste. Marie and towards Sudbury, North Bay, Cochrane, Ontario. Meanwhile, we are looking at a cold front that's going to sweep in behind the warm air, relatively speaking, and bring us showers and maybe even thunderstorm activity for tomorrow. Right now, the projection is a nice sweep of showers right across the heart of the Great Lakes, working west to east. So anticipate rain for Thursday afternoon and evening. It's a mild, windy, and clear night. 8 degrees the temperature, holding at that mark through 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've been a lot colder. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast. 21 grand degrees. Glorious tomorrow afternoon, but showers, thunderstorms, a possibility. Rain on Friday down to 10 degrees. Much cooler. And cloudy and wet. Then sunny for Saturday up to 12. That would be average for this time of the year, or that time of the year, 3 days from now. Sunday, looking at showers and back into the 20s, 23. Then 21 Monday, showers. Tuesday, Wednesday, wet. Tuesday's 20, and then cooling off to a seasonal 11 on Wednesday. It's going to be wet, warm, and cold, and warm again. Let's look at your weather.
The province is planning to extend a workplace safety insurance coverage to workers in privately run care facilities like retirement homes. The change is part of a broader set of updates to labor rules. The government says the facilities, which include foster homes, are currently not subject to mandatory coverage. The update will mean roughly 29,000 workers will now be protected if they get hurt or become sick on the job. This includes nurses, personal support workers, and resident care workers as well. New research suggests vitamin D levels in midlife could play a crucial role in longer-term brain health and preventing dementia. An Irish team looked at the vitamin D levels of nearly 800 adults with an average age of 39 years old. They then looked at that information gathered from brain scans of those same patients 16 years later. Those with lower levels of the vitamin at the outset showed more protein deposits associated with preclinical dementia. As research continues on that front, Health Canada says vitamin D plays many roles in maintaining health, including building and maintaining strong bones and teeth. The nutrient can be produced when your body is exposed to sunlight, but the agency has long recommended ensuring getting some daily via diet or supplement. St. Clair College invited the media to a behind-the-scenes look at the next generation of fashion talent. Second-year fashion design students displaying their collections at a special preview event today. Students have been designing, assembling, and fitting their runway pieces over the school year. It culminates with the annual Atelier Fashion Show set for April 18th at the Student Life Center. The student-run event will feature top collections, with awards handed out by industry judges, including a prize for sustainability.
I am I'm a theatrical person. I love to play around with scale and luxurious fabrics and all of that. So I was inspired by big silhouettes, rich colors, and everything that's dramatic.
It's time to rock and roll. Spitfires, Firebirds, round 2 ignites on Friday. I'll have a full breakdown ahead. On the sidelines is next. Stick around.
We are on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight. And Bob, you're starting off in Lakeshore, where the Canadians got the upper hand on their opponent. This happening last night.
Yeah, pretty good crowd on hand last night in Lakeshore at the Rock, as they call it. A tight game after the first period, but the Canadians finally got their gaming gear and found a way to win. That's a nice goal right there. Brody Jones, what a pass. Denver Boimier with his first of the playoffs. That gave Lakeshore a 4-0 lead after 2. The visiting Mount Bridges Bulldogs would get one back on the power play in the third, but it wasn't enough. Lakeshore shut things down on defense for a 5-1 win. They are now leading the series 2-0. Michael Kopchak, 3 assists for Lakeshore, who head to Mount Bridges Thursday for Game 3.
I think they were missing a few of their top players, and obviously we have a few guys out of the lineup, and that's the thing I really liked about today's game for us is we got a lot of secondary scoring. Our third and fourth lines chipped in, I think, 3 or 4 goals, and that's when you know that things are moving in the right direction for us. So
there's a lot of hockey left to play. We've been backed into a corner all year. We've had our ups and downs. They're battle tested, so they'll come ready to go Thursday.
Okay, so the Spits open round 2 on Friday. Now, this is a series fans are really looking forward to.
Yeah, you know, the first series was kind of blasé. It was a good test for the Spitfires, though. But this is where the real fun begins, folks. Flint will descend on the WSU Center Friday for Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. Bring it on.
So I'm not too worried. I know they're not going to do whatever they did to Sound to us. So, you know, I'm just excited to get this playoff round started. And, you know, we know Flint's a good team, and, you know, we've had them a lot this year. So we know what they do, and we know what we do. So, you know, as long as we play our game, then, you know, we'll be good.
The Spits and Firebirds are coming off first-round sweeps. Flint destroyed, just pulverized Sound. Windsor had a tougher time as they weathered the storm. To their credit, Guelph played the Spits tough defensively, and their goaltender Zach Jovanovski played a great series. But I think it was a good thing for the Spitfires, a good test, good preparation as they head into round 2.
They got 2 and 3 really deep offensive lines, so they're definitely a threat there. But I mean, our D game has been very, very good. Our penalty kill has been very, very good recently, so just we'll be able to shut them down. Confident in that.
You know, 500 against each other, so it's going to be a good series. But like I said all year, man, when we're at our best, we're tough to beat. So we'll be ready.
Should be fun.
Yeah, okay. The Windsor Express avoiding a disaster in Kitchener and are really feeling good coming home for Game 3.
Yeah, they lost the first game in Kitchener, and I thought, oh boy, this is trouble. But they came back to their credit. Bill Jones and his staff changed things up and got the road split they desperately needed.
It's very important. That was one of our goals, just to split out there and maybe get 2 games, but we're satisfied just getting 1. And now we got home court advantage going back home, playing 2 games.
Kids, take a seat. Class is now in session. Now, I don't know about you, this reminded me of a scene from Coach Carter. You ever see that movie? What's your deepest fear, Timo Cruz? Anyway, Coach's deepest fear right now is that this team doesn't pick it up where they left off in Game 2. Today, Coach Jones talked about discipline, mental focus, and keeping the pedal to the metal. If they do, then that would be a great chance for them to get to the BSL finals for the 2nd straight year.
They didn't know that, you know, we were going to come and disrupt what they had. I think they figured 3-0, but, you know, we went in there confident. It's like we knew we had to take one. So they're coming. We let, you know, Coach told me yesterday, listen, those guys are going to be coming, so we have to match that energy and then some.
My guy, local guy, John Elliott right there. Now, high school soccer is in full swing right now. I went to the University of Windsor Tuesday to check out the Assumption Purple Raiders. Now, one of their players hit me up and said they scored 12 goals in their opener. So I bit. I went. Nice goal by junior Aselfi Amoa, but the Raiders made me wait until literally the last minute of the game for them to score. Come on. They had more than enough chances to win this game, but last keeper Kane Meunier Rothera played big in net, making some key saves, some big saves to keep Assumption at bay until the end, of course. This game ended in a 1-1 draw. Assumption has a win and a tie early in the season, while Lage has a loss and a tie.
Fought really hard this game. Missed so many open nets and so many opportunities, but at the end we fought hard, got a chance on net, and we capitalized on it finally at the end.
The barrage, I've been used to it. It's whatever. I'm a goalie. It's my job. My job is to save my team. So, I mean, I think I played as well as I could. That unfortunately that header went in, and I can't complain. They got a really good group of guys. Like it's hard.
I'm telling you, this game could have easily been like 7-0. That goalie was really good yesterday.
Well, I'm extremely excited because my 4- and 6-year-old are starting soccer for the first time in May.
Yeah.
So,
good luck.
You know, I'm really, really excited
Soccer
about that.
mom.
Yeah. Let's talk about diving. I love it when Dive Canada brings any type of event to the Aquatic Centre.
Yeah, it's great. As we told you yesterday, they are here. And they're hosting the Canada Cup of Diving. Another great opportunity for Windsor to showcase the game and for for members of the Windsor Diving Club to get involved and volunteer.
I've seen the kids are very inspired. They're making friends. Although the divers are way older than them, the competing divers, they are making friends. They keep in touch, and the older divers are very good to them and keep inspiring them and encouraging them. So it's a friendship too. It's not just helping.
It's awesome. They get to rub shoulders with some of the best divers from around the world. 15 countries will be represented at the Aquatic Centre this week. Thursday and Friday are free for fans during the preliminary rounds. Friday will feature one final, which is pretty cool. The good stuff happens Saturday and Sunday with finals on both days. Fans will be treated to spectacular diving by some who are even Olympians. They'll also see a different setup, which will enhance the fan experience.
A lot of it's for broadcast. We'll be doing some in-house animations. We have our sport presentation plan. That we got our in-house announcer and crowd entertainers, and people can get on the video board, and you know the stuff you come to expect when you go to a big international event. We're putting into play here.
Yeah, as I showed you just there, it was a cool setup today, and I thought, ooh, this is different. So, you know, just again, to enhance the fan experience, to get people more involved in what's going on while the diving event happens. And yeah, it should be fun to watch.
I give credit to these athletes. You know, my nephew is one. I believe he's 9 or 10. I don't know the exact age, but he's part of the Windsor Diving Club now. Absolutely loves it. He's volunteering this weekend as well, along with my brother-in-law. It is really going to be a great event.
Okay, now this is an example of why this is a good thing that Dive Canada brought these events to Windsor like 10 years ago. So now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. Here they are. Yeah. With kids like your nephew who are going to, you know, aspiring Olympians. Like, these kids are going somewhere. A lot of them are winning provincial, titles now, gold medals. And it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, diving has done a lot for the Aquatic Center and the city.
Yeah, Liam, we will be watching your career
and
in the future. Okay, and that's On the Sidelines tonight. Bob Belichico, thank you.
Go, Liam.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. The much-anticipated Big Brothers Big Sisters signature fundraising event is back in support of Big Brothers Big Sisters Windsor Essex mentoring programs. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have more for us from the Mayor's State of the City address today.
That's right, Stephanie. One of the key messages from the mayor today, Windsor is expanding on multiple fronts from housing to industry. Much of the mayor's message focused on long-term growth. Drew Dilkin says that momentum is pushing the city into a new phase, one that requires a different mindset moving forward. Dilkin says the city is transforming from a big, small city to a small, big city.
By the time Sandwich South is done, I guarantee you with 100% certainty I won't be mayor of the city, right? And so I won't be cutting any ribbons on any of these things either. But when I see all of these things coming together and the way that everything is aligning so perfectly, I am incredibly optimistic about the future of the city.
We got more details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have a story online, Melanie, a traffic note for drivers who use Tecumseh Road.
Yes, Sterling Ridge is doing construction along a section of Tecumseh Road East. There will be lane closures from Rose City Ford to Roseville Garden Drive. The concrete work starts Monday, April 13th at 6 a.m. and is expected to take about 3 weeks. And in our social spotlight, a raven in BC has learned a special talent. That's Huxley the raven mimicking the sound of a human sneeze. He was rescued nearly a year and a half ago in Prince George. His caregivers say this was the very first sound he learned to mimic, and now he can even say some words, Stephanie.
How cute. I love those cameras inside of the cages. You get to just capture every moment naturally.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can pick up.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and that's what's happening now. Of all of the incredible images coming from the Artemis II mission, we'll show you the most unique one. That's when we return. Luckily, I have my car. Okay, my car's in the garage, so I didn't have to witness that. But I did see the frost on the. Oh yeah, big time with the garage.
Scraping the frost. Garage. Thank you. Yes. Well, my car was parked outside, and I had to scrape. But we all knew it was coming. We all knew because I was talking about how chilly it was projected for tomorrow, meaning the next morning, which was this morning. But tomorrow is interesting in that we will see a huge surge in terms of temperatures. Warm air, leading edge. It will be a windy day. The afternoon likely showery and a chance of thunderstorm activity, a high of 21. Cooling off and rainy, 10 degrees on Friday. Sunny on Saturday, 12. 23, then 21, then 20. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be rainy, by the way. Cloudy and rainy Sunday through to Wednesday of next week. A week from now, it'll be 11 degrees. That would be seasonal. We're going to be very warm and wet for the next little while. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Enercare Siles.
Okay, Gary, thank you. Travis, tonight we have a very interesting story.
A very interesting one. I mean, part of our job here is to always try and verify what people are seeing, what they're hearing out there on the streets. We're going to have quite a task on that front tonight. CTV's Robert Lothian is up northeast of Chatham, Kent right now, where experts report multiple, quote, credible Bigfoot sightings. Now, I wouldn't bet on him bringing back video of Sasquatch in the woods near Dresden, but we're looking into what it is about the Bigfoot folklore that has had people hooked through the decades, and also what it is that makes these sightings incredible.
I'm so excited for this.
We'll see.
Okay.
Where are the bones?
We'll see. Maybe Robert will have them.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to tune in tonight at 11.
Remains?
Aside, finally for tonight, they say no one can hear you scream in space, but aboard Artemis 2, apparently everyone can watch you snack.
We have to rehydrate a lot of our food.
A jar of Nutella is making waves online after it was spotted floating through the Orion capsule. Video captured from multiple cameras show the chocolate hazelnut spread drifting weightlessly as crew members look on. While the Artemis 2 astronauts have access to a menu of 189 different meal options, that's not too bad. Much of their food must be rehydrated before consumption. So that may be why the unexpected appearance of a ready-to-eat treat stood out. I'm a huge fan of this. I grew up on Nutella every single day.
It's funny because, like, in space, part of the reason they have dehydrated food, as I understand it, is because of the weight being so, like, you have to,
and those
every
jars
single
of Nutella
fraction of weight.
are heavy.
That's what I mean, of all things that you're going to pack in.
And they try to keep things very simple up there as much as possible. Rehydration is not so much an issue, but Nutella, oh boy.
What are they putting it on?
Delicious. Just a spoon, Travis.
Oh my gosh.
Spoon straight to the boat.
It's not real chocolate, I don't think.
On behalf of our dedicated team here on CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
I love real chocolate. Belgian, Swiss, French, etc. Italian chocolate. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary, I, and maybe Bigfoot will be back with your only late local newscast.
There are no bones, no fossils.
Good night.
Keep that in mind.